rivers and streams in Southeast Asia, okay? Of 13 species of otters, he is actually one of the smallest species of otter. So he's a little guy. Now, we see these guys being very active in the water, and we're going to talk a little bit about the water aspect of him right now. He's kind of grooving around a little bit. Otters, they're almost like waterproof, all right? They are able to close their ears and their nose when they're swimming. And all the fur all over his body, there's 450,000 hairs per square inch on this little guy's body. Their closest relative is actually the weasel and the skunk.
Mommy?
But these guys are way better swimmers. Now, with all that said, do you think they still have to learn to swim or be taught to swim from their parents when they're pups?
No.
They actually do, yeah, good answers. They actually do. Their family teaches them. But they're very family-oriented animals, so that works out really well. They are always in groups, swimming around in the rivers and the marshes, and very active out there together and playful. They also have their own fingerprint. Every otter has its own fingerprint, just like we do, but it's very different than our fingerprint. Their fingerprint is their scent. So you see him kind of rolling around and rubbing around on his towel. He's spreading his scent around, and that's kind of something that otters will do, kind of spread and make their presence known. Yeah, it's just, a little bit too much spreading scent around there. Let's take a little nap. He's so cute. Now, otters are found, we're going to see them also around here in mangroves and along riverbanks. And it's a different little species of otter. It's a freshwater North American otter as well. But you'll see them burrowing through riverbanks and through marshes. And this is actually really good for the ecosystem because they create these burrows and other animals can live in them. And they also help stimulate plant growth because of all that aeration of the soil and everything. So like he's burrowing through this towel, he's going to do the same thing out there swimming around in those mangroves. Now, this is not an endangered species, but it is threatened because of habitat loss and destruction. So conservation efforts are super important for these little guys. Let's hear it for Boris. Thank you, Boris, and thank you, Heather. Very good. She takes her sticky towel all the time. So. We're going to move on to our next animal, and instead of the water, we're going to go to the air. And here comes my friends.
Ow.
Guys, this is my friend Alfred and Emily.
Alfred.
But Alfred's the star here. He is 10 years old. He's actually a rescue right here from Florida. He is a great horned owl that was found in a backyard. A local rescue center realized that he was imprinted on humans. For those who've maybe never heard the word imprinted, it just means that he was actually not identifying with other great horned owls, but he was identifying with humans. So that was something really apparent early on where he was actually home with us, and he has been with us ever since, and he's been a great ambassador for his species. Well, it seems like he's noticed himself on the camera. And that's okay. The reason he can is his eyesight is excellent. They have those two big, beautiful eyes that you're probably drawn to right away with all owls. And those eyes, if you were to take them and put them in our head, the equivalent would actually be putting two grapefruits inside of your head. Yeah, to give you an idea. They don't have the muscles that we do to move our eyes around, so they actually are able to turn their head about 270 degrees or 3/4 of the way around. Most people think it's a misconception that it's 360, but it does not quite go all the way. Now, speaking of, he is just really vibing over there. But talking about his eyesight, being that it is excellent, it is heightened, just like his hearing. Just like his hearing, because they don't actually have a good sense of smell. So his hearing is through his ears that are covered by feathers. It's called the facial disc. So if you were to try to hear like him, you would actually cup your hand just like so behind your ears, and while I'm talking, it should amplify the hearing just a little bit for you. Now, obviously he doesn't have to do so. Those feathers help him out, and he has much better hearing than us, even with our hands cupped. They can hear a mouse 75 feet away.
What?
Yeah. And if that mouse was under snow stepping on a twig, they could hear that as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, on top of his head, you can kind of see it up there on the bones. Does anyone want to take a guess how many neck bones he has?
30.
Shout it out.
30.
50? I think I heard 700. That would be impressive.
30.
14. 14 neck bones. So it is double ours. Yeah. Now, another question I have for you guys. Has anyone heard an owl fly at night?
Yes.
No, yes, yeah. It is a bit of a trick question, so I do apologize.
You can't hear it.
They actually have an almost silent flight. That is because their wings at the end have comb-like projections that actually muffle the sound of their flight, which makes them apex predators. They are carnivores, so they can eat skunks and even rodents that may be affecting agriculture or your local farm. So they are a free pest control. Yeah, they are a good thing to keep around for sure.
He's about to fight the screen. Right.
I just can't believe how cute he is today. Yeah. So yeah, free pest service. Definitely want to see them. Definitely want to keep them around. So if you do see an owl or any other animal that is in need, we just ask that you call your licensed wildlife center so that they can come check on them, so that we can make sure their rehab allows them to go back into the wild. Although Alfred is so cute and amazing, we want to avoid issues like imprinting. So that is something that we ask that you just phone a friend. Now let's give Alfred a big round of applause. Thank you. Now, owls like Alfred, the great horned owl, can be found even in your own backyard. So they come and range from Arctic all the way down to South America. This next animal Brad's going to bring on out, you might have seen in your backyard as well.
Those are so cute. I want it.
When you think of wildlife in the state of
Looks
Florida,
like a
does an
crocodile.
animal come to mind? An alligator, yeah.
That looks like Lyle.
Alligator.
This is my buddy
Yes, it does look like
Bayou,
Lyle.
and Bayou is a 1-year-old American alligator, actually, to be exact. Ain't he cute? This little guy right here.
Isn't he?
Now, it's hard to believe, but he's only 1 year old. He can grow to nearly 13 feet in length and be almost 600 pounds. All right. I keep telling them that we're going to need to get some more trainers. All right. So listen out for that. Now, I remember I said he was only 1 year old. They can live to about 35 to 50 years, and in a zoological facility, we've actually seen them live into their 80s. And they got it made here. No pollution, no predators, and good health benefits. So they can take good care of these guys. Now, we're going to find the American alligator from Florida all the way to Texas. So if you were to take a drive through Louisiana and all those states, you're going to see a lot of swamps and marshes, and you'll see a lot of American alligators if you take a look. So that's kind of where we're going to find this species of alligator in the freshwater lakes and streams all over there. Now about this guy, while we got a close look up in here, if you take a look, he's got all these little armor-looking things all over his body. There's a nice word for that, and it's called osteoderms. And they're basically bony plates, and it makes this little fortress for him all over his body. They are an apex predator, so that helps him be nice and strong and tough. And inside his mouth, and y'all are gonna help me out with this one, how many teeth do you think he has in there? Any guesses?
75.
A lot, and I heard 75. That's the closest I've had all day, 75. And then I got an 80 right there, and she nailed it down front. Good job. 80 teeth. Good job. 80 teeth. Now, those teeth do fall out, and throughout their life, they can actually go through about 2,000 to 3,000 teeth total. That's pretty crazy. Now, moving down his body, you can see this really cool tail hanging off my arm. He's got a little tail, but as he grows, obviously that tail gets really big. And they use that tail to interact quite a bit with their environment. So he will sweep that tail around to actually dig holes in the ground to create a place to be, all right? During times of drought, they're gonna still need water. So those holes fill with water, and it gives them a nice little safe place to be and also hunt prey that way. And they are called gator holes, all right? So I don't know if they have any golfers out here, but if you're on the 18 hole, just make sure it's not a gator hole, okay? You know, these guys, sorry, the jokes don't get any better. But yeah, those tails are really important to them. And actually, birds will even lay eggs in those gator holes when the gator's not in there. So it's good for the ecosystem as well. Now, female gators, they're kind of neat. female gators actually protect their young for about 2 years. And then the temperature of the soil where the female gator lays their egg actually will determine the gender of the baby. If the soil is a cooler temperature, it's going to be a female, and if it's warmer, it's going to be a male. And my wife said the other day, she said, that's because girls are way cooler, all right? So I said, you're right, of course. Now, another cool little thing about the American alligator, to be exact, is that in the 60s, they were listed as an endangered species. And through years of conservation efforts, we have actually been able to remove them from the endangered list. And in the 80s, they came off of it and also became the state reptile of Florida as well at the same time. So that's really a cool thing to actually have these guys around and they're not on that endangered list anymore. Now, we have learned in Florida here to kind of coexist with alligators. I'm sure I have a lot of Floridians in here, and I'm sure y'all see alligators quite a bit. We do see them out there, all right? So it is important, obviously, that we enjoy them, but from a distance. And as we all know, feeding wild animals can be very dangerous for the animal. We don't want them to become comfortable with getting food from people. So before we welcome our next animal, you guys are all going to help me out, and I want to hear it really good. See you later. Alligator. Thank you, you guys are awesome.
I'm glad we made you guys do it this time because, well, we have one more animal to come on out and meet you guys. Are you guys having a good time so far?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to invite one of my best friends. He has defied odds. His name is Panama, and it looks like he is making his way out right on that side. There we go. Panama is a 14-year-old eastern brown pelican, and as he's showing off for you, they have a 6.5-foot wingspan. They spend just as much time in the air as they do in the water, and they can soar heights of 65 feet in the air. Now, when they're up at those lofty heights, they actually have remarkable precision, and he was just showing off his vital asset, which is his throat pouch. So that throat pouch that he was flaunting for you guys actually can help with hydration. There it is again. Helps with hydration as well as catching their fish. That can hold an impressive amount of water. Any guesses on how much water he can hold in there?
3 gallons.
3 gallons. Yeah, you're the expert out there. 3 gallons of water. That is actually more than his belly capacity. Now, granted, they would not drink it all in one sitting. Probably upset his belly, that's for sure. But it does allow him to help catch the fish. Now, Panama and all of his friends out there, as I said, they do hang out in the water just as much as the air. They do help regulate fish populations. Now, with that being said, one of the things that these guys do face issues with is entanglement. Entanglement just means that some of the extra fishing line or some other debris actually is the #1 cause that we see.
They're not talking about Will Smith.
Or, unfortunately, almost 700 die each year from entanglement alone. So one thing that we can do in 2010, where he was actually found abandoned in a nest. Yeah, but this, believe it or not, this beautiful bird, it's a very confident bird you see in front of you, was a very young and virtually featherless chick. But again, a rescue center that is partnered with Seaworld was able to step in and help him out and catch fish if they needed to, but they primarily use their pouch. Well, it looks like he's had about enough of us out here. He's going to head on to the back, so let's give him a big round of applause.
Too bad I didn't get that.
He's definitely full of character, that one. Now, as we conclude our journey through Rescue Tales, it is a reminder that every animal, no matter how big or small or cute, deserves love, compassion, and a second chance. You can stay out here with us, buddy. Now, here at SeaWorld, we are honored to be able to offer that second chance. For nearly 60 years, we've actually rescued over 41,000 animals. Yeah, you can give a round of applause. Now, those 41,000 animals is with the goal of rehabilitating and releasing them back to the wild.
And to date now, 21 manatees and 31 sea turtles here at SeaWorld Orlando. Let's hear it for our rescue team and our veterinarian staff.
And we are not done yet. center, as well as compassionate individuals like yourselves. These stories continue to unfold every single day. Now, until next time, remember, cherish every tale. Within each one lies a story worth saving.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Have a great
guys.
day. Here is
Brutus.
Really?
I don't know. Bronco.
I just kept guessing. I didn't even know 80 teeth in an alligator could be possible. I thought it was more. I just guessed 80.
Do you want to see? Go ask him if you can see. Go ask him. Go ask him if you can see. Ask him. Ask him. Ask him. Can you see?
So it depends.
Whoa.
4 or 5 pounds themselves, so they have to be able to fly away with whatever that may be. So I'd estimate
Cool.
maximum, depending on the strain. Yeah, they can't get them away for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, the hawks are a little bit more stealthy. Hawks are typically more feet-driven. Owls,
Go.
they'll grab their prey by their feet.
Go see.
But for the most part, like you saw his talons, they weren't as wide. He's a smaller range owl. We have another owl.
What's his name? Yes. Boris. I knew it started with a B. Oh.
What?
I don't think you can. But you would have to ask her, not me. Hey, Boris.
It does. These guys are the smallest species. They only weigh about 7 pounds. The otters around here are like 20 pounds.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, you're like a pocket otter. Yeah, you're right.
Not Otis. What is his name? Odie?
I don't know.
Other show. He was so small.
I don't know. Cool. All right.
Mommy, did you?
Thank you.
Yeah.